You've always been told that papaya is a healthy, tropical treat. Ancient civilizations certainly knew secrets about this fruit that modern medicine is only now beginning to fully appreciate. But what if I told you that eating papaya the wrong way could be quietly damaging your gut, causing your blood pressure to drop to dangerous levels, or even triggering internal bleeding, especially for those of us over 60? Recent analysis suggests that a vast majority of seniors might be making common mistakes when it comes to eating this fruit. And what's truly concerning is that you're probably making at least a few of these potentially harmful errors right now. Even worse, the number one mistake we're about to discuss could significantly raise your risk of stomach bleeding, and you might never even feel it coming. Big health brands won't talk about this. Food labels certainly don't warn you, but the science is clear, and it's time we uncovered the real truth. You might think it's just a simple fruit, but when handled improperly, it can pose serious risks. All the information you're about to hear is supported by peer-reviewed scientific studies and documented medical cases from leading research institutions worldwide. What you'll learn about mistake number 2 alone could help prevent a medical emergency that sends thousands of older adults to the hospital every single year. So, let's begin our countdown with mistake number 7, storing cut papaya in plastic containers. Most of us don't think twice about chopping up a papaya, tossing it into a plastic container, and putting it in the fridge. It seems easy and convenient, but this is a silent mistake that could be affecting your hormone balance and your gut health. When papaya is stored in plastic, especially the older, less durable types that many of us have in our kitchens, it releases a small amount of its natural water and sugars. When these natural juices are trapped inside a poorly sealed plastic container, they can cause a process called chemical leaching. This means that tiny plastic particles, specifically compounds like phthalates and BPA, can start seeping directly into the fruit you're about to eat. Scientists refer to these as endocrine disruptors, which are chemicals that can mimic or interfere with your body's natural hormones. A landmark study published in a leading environmental health journal found that even short-term exposure to fruit contaminated with BPA increased estrogenic activity in the blood samples of elderly subjects. This is especially concerning for men, as excess estrogen can lead to issues like fatigue, unexpected weight gain, and even a loss of muscle mass. For women, it can disrupt the delicate balance of progesterone, potentially leading to other health issues, particularly in the postmenopausal years. And it's not just about hormones. Those same studies found measurable disruptions in liver enzymes among seniors who regularly ate fruit that had been stored in soft plastic containers. The solution is straightforward. Whenever possible, store your cut papaya in glass, ceramic, or food-grade stainless steel containers. If you're looking for a more budget-friendly option, even high-quality, BPA-free plastic containers are a much safer alternative than old, scratched plasticware that might have been sitting in your cupboard for decades. Here's another helpful tip. Try to keep the container dry and avoid sealing in too much moisture. Excess moisture can speed up the fermentation process. This not only changes the taste of the papaya, but also creates the perfect breeding ground for bacterial growth. And as we get older and our immune systems may not be as robust, that's the last thing we want to introduce into our bodies. You can still enjoy your papaya cold and pre-cut. Just make this one simple change in how you store it, and you'll be reducing your exposure to hormone-altering toxins that could be silently affecting your health. It's a small shift, but for your body, it could be huge. Now for mistake number 6, eating overripe papaya. That perfectly soft, super sweet papaya sitting on your kitchen counter might seem like a delicious treat, but it could be your worst enemy. When papaya becomes overripe, something happens at the molecular level that most people are completely unaware of. The natural sugars in the fruit begin to convert into alcohol compounds through a process called fermentation. A study from a respected food science journal found that overripe papayas can contain surprising levels of ethanol. While the amount might seem small, it can cause serious problems for certain individuals. The real danger, however, lies in the multiplication of harmful bacteria. Research from a prominent agricultural university discovered that overripe papayas can harbor several times more pathogenic bacteria than properly ripened ones. These bacteria produce toxins that can cause severe food poisoning, leading to symptoms like violent vomiting, extreme diarrhea, and dangerous dehydration. A team of food scientists documented hundreds of cases of papaya-related food poisoning in a single year, with the vast majority linked to the consumption of overripe fruit. But here's what many people don't know about the enzymatic breakdown. As papaya overripens, the beneficial enzyme known as papain transforms into compounds that can actually irritate your intestinal lining. This can create microscopic damage to your gut wall, potentially contributing to what is known as leaky gut syndrome. An international gastroenterology journal published findings showing that people who regularly consumed overripe papaya had significantly higher markers for intestinal permeability. The solution is simpler than you might think. Perfect papaya ripeness occurs when the skin yields slightly to gentle pressure, but still maintains its firmness. The color should be predominantly yellow with just hints of green remaining. Once you cut a papaya, you should consume it within 24 hours when stored properly in the refrigerator. Never eat a papaya that has a fermented smell or has dark spots that penetrate deep into the flesh. These aren't just blemishes. They are often colonies of bacteria that have already started producing harmful byproducts. To maximize the benefits while avoiding the dangers, timing your papaya consumption is key. Eat papaya when the flesh is a bright orange color, not a deep red or a pale yellow. The seeds should be black and glossy, not gray or shriveled. You can store uncut papayas at room temperature until they reach that perfect stage of ripeness, and then you should refrigerate them immediately. This simple timing adjustment can be the difference between getting healing nutrition and consuming harmful toxins. Moving on to mistake number 5, dangerous food combinations with papaya. Ancient healing traditions warned about this thousands of years ago, and now modern science is finally catching up. Combining papaya with certain foods can create chemical reactions in your stomach that can seriously disrupt your digestive system. One of the most shocking discoveries came from researchers at a major Japanese medical university, who found that eating papaya with dairy products creates indigestible protein compounds that can accumulate in your intestines. When the papain enzyme from papaya meets the casein protein from milk, they can form dense substances that your body simply cannot break down effectively. One groundbreaking study tracked over 1,000 participants and found that those who regularly consumed papaya smoothies made with milk experienced significantly more digestive distress than those who ate papaya by itself. Even worse, for sensitive individuals, these protein clumps can trigger severe allergic reactions. A potential nightmare scenario happens when you combine papaya with citrus fruits like oranges or lemons. Both contain powerful acids, and when they are mixed, they create an environment so acidic it can irritate your stomach lining. The European Journal of Clinical Nutrition published alarming data showing that people who regularly consumed papaya and orange juice combinations had much higher rates of gastric ulcers. The combined acid load can overwhelm your stomach's natural protective mechanisms, leaving you vulnerable to serious discomfort and damage. Drinking cold water with papaya presents another hidden danger. The sudden temperature shock can cause the papain enzymes to coagulate, forming gel-like masses that can actually block nutrient absorption. Traditional Chinese medicine practitioners have observed this for centuries, and recently, Western researchers at a prestigious medical school confirmed it through advanced imaging studies. They found that drinking cold water within 30 minutes of eating papaya reduced the absorption of its nutrients by a substantial amount. The proper way to consume papaya maximizes its incredible benefits. For the best results, try eating papaya alone on an empty stomach, preferably first thing in the morning. Then, wait at least 45 minutes before consuming other foods. If you absolutely must combine papaya with something, choose compatible fruits like bananas or mangoes, which share similar digestion times. Never mix papaya with proteins, dairy, or highly acidic fruits. And if you need to drink something, choose room temperature or warm water, but ideally, let the papaya's own high water content hydrate you naturally. Next is mistake number 4, ignoring deadly pesticide residues. This is a topic that can be truly concerning. Commercial papaya farming often involves the use of some very potent pesticides, and these chemicals don't just wash off easily with water. A leading consumer watchdog group's latest analysis found that conventionally grown papayas can contain residues of numerous different pesticides, including some known neurotoxins and probable carcinogens. What makes this worse is that papaya has a porous skin, which allows these chemicals to penetrate deep into the flesh of the fruit. A shocking long-term study from a prestigious school of public health followed thousands of people over a decade. They found that those who consumed non-organic papaya more than twice a week showed significantly higher levels of organophosphate metabolites in their blood. These are chemicals that have been linked to a host of serious health problems. The study also raised serious concerns about exposure during pregnancy. The situation becomes more complex when you realize that certain pesticides used on papayas are banned in Europe and other parts of the world, but remain legal in some major papaya-producing countries. One neurotoxic pesticide found on a majority of tested papayas is known to cause serious developmental issues. Yet, it remains in use in many regions due to agricultural lobbying efforts. Independent laboratory testing has revealed that even papayas labeled as pre-washed still contain dangerous levels of systemic pesticides, which are chemicals that penetrate the entire fruit and cannot be washed off. And here's another layer to this issue. Some papaya varieties are genetically modified to produce their own pesticides internally. These GMO papayas, which make up a large percentage of the crop from certain regions, contain genes from bacteria that create toxins in every single cell of the fruit. While the industry claims these are safe for consumption, some independent research has raised concerns, finding that animal studies showed organ damage and immune system dysfunction after consuming GMO papaya over a period of time. The solution here requires vigilance, but it isn't complicated. Always choose certified organic papayas whenever possible. Testing shows they contain dramatically fewer pesticide residues. If organic isn't available, try to select papayas from countries that are known to have stricter pesticide regulations. When you get the fruit home, wash it thoroughly with a solution of 1 teaspoon of baking soda per cup of water, as this has been shown to remove a high percentage of surface pesticides. Finally, peel the skin completely and consider discarding the outermost layer of the flesh, as this is where pesticides tend to concentrate most heavily. And never eat the papaya's skin or use it in smoothies, no matter how well you think you've washed it. Let's discuss mistake number 3, consuming papaya seeds incorrectly. There's been a trend online recently that promotes papaya seeds as some kind of miracle detox cure. You'll hear claims that they have been used as a natural contraceptive for centuries. Recent studies have confirmed what indigenous cultures have known for a long time. These innocent-looking seeds can drastically alter your hormonal balance. Research from the Journal of Medicinal Food showed that male subjects who consumed papaya seeds daily for 3 months experienced a significant reduction in sperm count. The active compound in the seeds, known as carpine, acts as a powerful alkaloid that interferes with reproductive hormones in both men and women. Further research from a major university discovered that women who regularly ate papaya seeds experienced irregular menstrual cycles, with a percentage of them developing temporary infertility. The effects were found to be reversible, but only after completely avoiding the seeds for several months. Even more concerning is the risk of liver toxicity. Papaya seeds contain a compound which, in very small doses, can help fight parasites, but in larger amounts can cause severe liver damage. A study published in a toxicology archive found that consuming more than 1 teaspoon of papaya seeds daily led to elevated liver enzymes in a significant number of participants. A few individuals in the study even developed acute hepatitis that required hospitalization. The seeds have an extreme potency, which means the line between a medicinal dose and a poisonous one is frighteningly small. The cardiovascular effects are equally alarming. Papaya seeds can dangerously lower your blood pressure due to their high carpine content. Emergency rooms in tropical regions regularly treat patients who have consumed too many papaya seeds and have experienced severe hypotension, dizziness, and fainting spells. One hospital documented over 100 cases where papaya seed consumption led to blood pressure drops so severe they required medical intervention. However, when used correctly and with extreme caution, papaya seeds can offer some remarkable benefits. The key is moderation and proper preparation. Never consume more than 5 seeds per day, and always chew them thoroughly to control the release of their active compounds. It's best to start with just 1 or 2 seeds to see how your body tolerates them. For a short-term cleanse, some protocols suggest consuming the seeds for no more than 7 days, followed by a 2-week break. Pregnant women, those trying to conceive, and anyone with existing liver conditions should avoid papaya seeds completely. If you are using the seeds for a specific purpose, consider crushing them and mixing them with honey to buffer their intensity, and consume them only on alternate days to prevent the accumulation of toxic compounds. Now for mistake number 2, eating unripe green papaya. This is the mistake that can send people to the emergency room, yet it's something that is virtually never discussed. Unripe papaya contains concentrations of latex that are many times higher than in ripe fruit. For certain individuals, this latex can act like a liquid poison. The New England Journal of Medicine has reported on thousands of severe allergic reactions to unripe papaya in a single year, with some cases resulting in complete respiratory failure. The latex in green papaya contains enzymes that can trigger a massive release of histamine in sensitive individuals. A leading immunologist discovered that even people without a known latex allergy can develop life-threatening reactions to unripe papaya. Her research showed that a small percentage of the population carries a genetic variant that makes them hypersensitive to papaya latex, but they often don't know it until they consume it and potentially face anaphylactic shock. The connection to pregnancy is absolutely terrifying. Unripe papaya latex contains substances similar to prostaglandins and oxytocin, which can trigger powerful uterine contractions. For centuries, traditional midwives have used green papaya to induce labor, but today, many women unknowingly consume it in salads or supplements. The British Medical Journal has documented numerous miscarriages that were directly linked to green papaya consumption, with most occurring within 48 hours of ingestion. The latex concentration in just one unripe papaya can be equivalent to the dose used in traditional medicine to induce an abortion. Beyond the risks during pregnancy, unripe papaya latex can cause severe digestive destruction. It can strip away the protective mucus lining of your intestines, leaving the raw tissue exposed to stomach acid. Gastroenterologists at a world-renowned clinic found that regular consumption of green papaya increased the risk of intestinal bleeding by a staggering amount. The latex also contains proteolytic enzymes that are so powerful they can begin to digest the proteins in your own gut wall, which in rare cases can lead to perforations requiring emergency surgery. The risk of contamination is also much higher with prepared green papaya products. That trendy green papaya salad at a restaurant might harbor dangerous bacteria. The latex creates the perfect conditions for E. coli and salmonella to grow, with contamination rates found to be much higher than in ripe papaya. Food safety inspections have often found that a high percentage of prepared green papaya dishes contain concerning bacterial levels. The safe approach requires complete avoidance of green papaya, unless you are absolutely certain of your body's tolerance. If you do choose to consume it, only eat professionally prepared dishes from reputable establishments that properly treat the fruit to neutralize the latex. Never attempt to eat raw green papaya at home. Pregnant women should avoid all forms of green papaya, including supplements and even beauty products that contain papaya extract. If you ever experience tingling, swelling, or difficulty breathing after eating papaya, seek emergency medical attention immediately. Reactions can escalate from mild to life-threatening in a matter of minutes. And finally, Mistake number 1. Eating papaya while on blood thinners or antiplatelet drugs. This is the single most critical mistake that almost nobody warns you about. Papaya contains natural compounds that can dangerously amplify the effects of blood-thinning medications, potentially causing fatal hemorrhages. The American Journal of Emergency Medicine documented hundreds of cases of severe bleeding linked to papaya and medication interactions in a recent year, with dozens of those cases resulting in death. Yet, doctors rarely mention this lethal combination to their patients. The papain enzyme in papaya acts as a powerful anticoagulant in its own right, breaking down the fibrin proteins that are essential for your blood to clot. When you combine this effect with prescription blood thinners like warfarin or even daily aspirin, the effect multiplies exponentially. A top hematologist at a major teaching hospital found that patients on blood thinners who also consumed papaya had their INR levels, a measure of blood clotting time, spike to dangerously high levels. A normal therapeutic range is usually between 2 and 3. Their levels were 8 or higher. This means their blood was practically unable to clot, turning even a minor cut or bruise into a life-threatening emergency. The stories are real and well documented. Imagine a gentleman who enjoys a daily bowl of fresh papaya, unaware that this healthy habit is turning his life-saving heart medication into a potential threat. These are not isolated incidents. The FDA's Adverse Event Database contains over 1,000 reports of serious bleeding events linked to papaya and drug interactions. Yet, no warning appears on the medication labels. But it's not just blood thinners. Papaya can dramatically alter how your liver processes dozens of common medications. The fruit inhibits the cytochrome P450 enzymes, the same system affected by grapefruit, but with potentially even more serious consequences. This means that medications can accumulate to toxic levels in your bloodstream. For instance, patients taking statins for cholesterol who eat papaya regularly can show dramatically higher drug concentrations in their blood, leading to severe muscle breakdown and even kidney failure. The interaction with diabetes medications can be equally catastrophic. Papaya's natural sugars, combined with its enzymatic effects, can cause blood sugar to plummet to dangerously low levels. Emergency departments report a growing number of diabetic comas in patients who consumed papaya while on medications like metformin or insulin. One study found that a significant percentage of severe hypoglycemic events in tropical regions involved recent papaya consumption. The solution requires extreme caution and complete transparency with your healthcare provider. If you take any prescription medications, especially blood thinners, diabetes drugs, or heart medications, you must consult your doctor before eating papaya. Never consume papaya within 4 hours of taking any medication. It's a great idea to keep a detailed food diary and share it with your healthcare team. If you're scheduled for any kind of surgery, you must stop eating papaya at least 2 weeks beforehand to prevent the risk of catastrophic bleeding during the procedure. You should think of papaya as being as powerful as any pharmaceutical drug and treat it with the same level of respect. The enzyme content can vary dramatically from one fruit to another, making any kind of consistent dosing impossible. When in doubt, always choose to prioritize your life-saving medications over papaya consumption. In the end, these mistakes can transform papaya from a tropical delight into a potential health catastrophe. Knowledge is your shield against these hidden dangers. Please share this vital information with everyone you care about, because what they don't know about papaya could have a serious impact on their health. Stay safe, stay informed, and always remember that nature's power demands our complete respect. Now we want to hear from you. Have you ever had a strange reaction to papaya? Or do you eat it every day and feel great? Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear from our community. Thank you for watching.